Okay, we just finished a phone call interview with a retired PwC partner on the phone. Seemed like a nice guy, middle 60s. Coincidentally, I knew his former bosses, so it facilitated the phone call. That's probably an understatement that it facilitated the phone call. And that's what your chairman should be able to do. And I was up front. I said, even though I've done healthcare deals, I'm the weak link, and I am the weak link on the board because I don't know anything about it. I won't say I don't know anything about that, but I know very little compared to the other industry experts, etc. And of course, rocks. But probably you guys that have other chairmen, they will know something about the industry. But I'm a generalist, so I know a little about a lot. But we got fortunate that I knew all those guys. And like he's a gentleman. He said, well, I won't bring that up that you made her cry. But I remember the restaurant. I mean, I won't forget. When I say I used to be a beast, guys, I am not bullshitting you. I made fucking nuns cry. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck now, and I gave a fuck less then. So just imagine what I was like in my 30s and 40s. I was a fucking an animal. But I got shit done. Didn't make a fuck where it was, what it cost. I could get shit done. I could put 3 pounds of shit in a 1 pound bag in 5 minutes. You asked me earlier today about my communication skills. What did you ask me?
Did you learn your communication skills
in the oil business?
More so in Texas?
No.
Because of your slang?
No. I can talk that way. But I mean, the Texan guys, or oil guys in general, are straight to the point. They don't fuck around. I mean, there's not a lot of foreplay. And that was perfect for me, since I didn't believe in that anyway. That's like somebody accused me many years ago. Foreplay to Dan is him taking his fucking coat off on the way into the suite. When I think back, that's pretty accurate, actually. No, but I developed my communication skills. I started, remember, I got an F in public speaking in high school. I got an F in public speaking in university, and I got a D the second time I took public speaking in the university. And I developed my communication skills when I went in the military and I became an officer. Because you had to say things quickly in that 1 week or that weekly management report that you send me is a takeoff of the one-page report that I used to have to give. And NATO put it together after World War, when NATO began in 1948 or whenever it was, after World War II, because they wanted you to be able to put succinctly what the deal was. And it's your accomplishments, your goals for the next day and that time, and problems. I now call it challenges and problems, just to be kind of 21st century, but problems. And then I've added a bunch of other bells and whistles. But if you couldn't explain it in one page, God rest his soul, I had a great guy. I reported to named General Roy Atterbury, a Texan one-star general, who said, time costs lives. If you can't say the shit quick, it costs people lives. So I learned how to, really be succinct. But I've always, I haven't been afraid to open my mouth, ever. And that's based on my dad and my mom and their backgrounds. And they raised me up right. But Texas and the oil business, especially then, and I'm sure now, were tuned for that. And then when I went to Wall Street, then I came here. I mean, they weren't straightforward here. Here meaning the financial district, because we're in Scotland right now. The financial district in London. Everybody was happy. When I came here in 1981, there was only one there was less than 100 people. And the square mile is where the Romans built the square mile when they first settled in London, But in the square mile in London, in 1981, there were less than 100 people that made 100 grand. Less than 100. And they were called, I forget what they called them. And when you made $100,000, there was a restaurant they used to take you to, and they used to cut I have a bow tie. They used to cut the bottom of your tie off and then pin it on a wall. And when you came back to the office, it was a badge of honor that the fact that you didn't have the tie below was cut off. And but I didn't know that. So when these guys grabbed me and they tried to cut my tie off, and then I realized that, but there weren't a lot of guys, and everything, big lunches, a lot to drink at lunch. They used to take naps in the afternoon. They used to have sleeping rooms in the big banks. All the banks had a sleeping room. They still do? Okay. Where when you had to rest in the afternoon because you had a little too much drink at lunch. And then you'd get up from that, and then you'd do a little paper shuffling. Then you'd go out for drinks and dinner, and you'd do it all over again. But when you needed to get a deal done, they got it done, irrespective of the sleeping rooms. So that was the perfect lifestyle for me. I fit right into that thing. I mean, I didn't have any trouble. And the biggest drinker in the city at that time was a guy named Guy Dunphy. He was the biggest by far. And we were at a place called the St. James Club in 81. And I had a reputation of being able to drink a lot. And so he had lined up, when I got to the bar, he had lined up from one end of the bar to that end of the bar, gin shots. From one end of the bar. And when the bell rang, I started, I guess, at this end, and he started that. And who got to the middle or past the middle first? I mean, there's, I don't know how many shot glasses you can, And I got past the middle before him. Now, to his credit, he had been drinking all day, because that's what he did. But nobody's interested in that he was drinking all day. All they know is in 1981, I broke the biggest drinker in London and brought him to his knees. We actually had to carry him out, put him in a cab, give the cab driver 20 pounds, probably not 20 in those days, probably 10 pounds, to take him home. So forever, from 81 through 88, 89, 90, that's what I was known for. And I was a deal-doing motherfucker. So people would want to do deals, get in the group, because they knew that I could. And normally, getting deals done in those days, I could find the money. All the rest is bullshit. You can find a tax partner. You can find that's all the rest is bullshit. The only thing that counts is getting the money. And in those days, well, not those days now too, but I could always get the money. And sometimes at the last minute, I mean, the sun's setting and everybody's going to turn into werewolves, but I mean, I got the money. And we had some close calls, I mean, really close calls, but at the end of the day, we got the deals done. But it was good to talk to that guy. It brought back a lot of memories. And I'm sure when we get back to him, if it's all right with Billy, we're going to give him Billy and Ronnie. Well, there you are. And Ron, how could I? Well, he's black and you're not. Anyway, okay. We'll give him Ronnie's number and we'll give him Billy if that's all right. And I'm sure that'll be all right. He's making it. He's being very careful as he should, but he's making it more difficult than it needs to be. It needs to be. Yeah. A lot of these guys have never, been on these positions, but but I mean the model works, and if he was in the Texas area when Anderson went down, I mean it was ugly for all accounting firms. The rumors were, oh goddamn, everybody thought everybody. Because Enron was a huge client, and allegedly did things by the book. And when, At that time, I believe Enron was the biggest bankruptcy in the history of the country. And they thought banks were going to go down. Boy, it was assholes and elbows. I mean, down with the tidy bowl man. I mean, everybody was scared shitless. And bless you. And I was telling the truth. The poor Anderson guy, partner, he did a lot of wrong things. But the kids, you were telling your kid, don't talk to Billy down. I mean, don't talk to Joey. I mean, stay away, because they were afraid that God knows what's going to happen. And then the feds were going to get involved, and the Department of Justice did get involved. And, panic is an ugly thing. And as it turned out, it was restricted just to Anderson. And Enron, a couple other, 2 or 3 other little companies went under, but not like they thought. Because I knew it wasn't going to take the oil business down. That was bullshit. I mean, but, you listen to these people, and then the housewives start talking about it at the tennis club, and you think we're at war or something, We're at war with fucking Russia, but and as he said, it was an ugly time. Ugly time. What did you learn about my spiel? Of course, I had a lot of anecdotes to give him. Yep.
And place your deal closest to his company.
Yeah, I did. If I had a few more minutes, now I've thought of a couple other names, but Jim Galbraith, God rest his soul, he was a big deal. He was head of tax there, but it just so happens, he says he brought me from Philadelphia. Well, I have a vague recollection about that too. I remember, but I thought it was a younger guy that they brought from Philadelphia, or they brought from someplace. I don't know. Just like you all look alike to me, all the partners in the big accounting firms all look alike to me. And but when I said the last one, you must have, been to a Van Cliburn concert. Anybody know? Do you even know who Van Cliburn is? God Almighty! Van Cliburn was one of the greatest pianists in the last 100 years, and everybody thought he was German, Russian, something. His name was Van Cliburn. He was Texan. And it's from Fort Worth, Texas. And Sid and Perry Bass liked him, and they built the concert hall and some shit to him. And so anybody that was anybody went to the symphony or whatever and listened to Van Cliburn. But everybody thought he was European because they thought it was like Von Cliburn, but it wasn't. His name was Van Cliburn from a little shit-ass ranch outside Fort Worth. Probably raised weed on the ranch, for all I know. But, and his most famous, Tchaikovsky's Concerto, number 1, B-flat minor, Opus 22. And I'm sure you knew that, being from the University of Spoiled Children that you are. Okay, YouTube, talk to you later.